So you mentioned two ways to increase the value of your firm. One was adopting modern technology, and the other was adopting fixed fee, recurring billing and moving away from hourly.
Right.
Of those two, which one do you think is the most important?
I think the revenue model is the biggest importance, mainly because getting the transition of your customer base from time and material billing to recurring revenue model, that's actually some hard work. You have a customer base that's so used to getting billed to you hourly, and that means that you as a practitioner haven't sold them the reasons why and the value of transitioning to a recurring revenue model. The reality is the market likes recurring revenue contracts, especially recurring revenue contracts that have a term like 1 year, 2 years, or 3 years. It's synonymous to software agreements where they have recurring revenue terms or enterprise software agreements. So that's actually a hard work. Technology transformation, a lot of younger owners and a lot of new buyers are willing to go through the headache of a technology transformation instead of the recurring revenue pricing, right? Because a technology transformation, a lot of your customers actually don't see any of that
Right.
behind the scenes, and you never have to get a customer's permission to do technology transformation. You say we're updating our own internal systems, we're doing movements, and so it's rarely that you have to ask a customer. They're going to be like, oh yeah, that sounds great, I've actually wanted you to update the technology for a long time. That's an easier transformation to occur than getting most of your customers to go, hey, will you sign this agreement and commit to paying me
Mm.
monthly for the next year, 2 years, 3 years. And that's a lot of work that a buyer would like to see done before they buy.
Stephanie on the live stream said, "What kind of impact does the contract length have on enterprise value for fixed fee firms? For example, 6 months versus 1 year, etc."
Yeah, that's a great question, Stephanie. I would argue that it's too early to tell at a mass scale. I would say that you're likely going to move your firm value up by, a tenth of a point, or even 20th of or 2/10 of a point. Mainly because the amount of firms that are still at time and material is so massive that most of the firms you're going to see on the market are going to be in time and material phase. So the bigger question is, what is the pricing difference between a firm billing time and material versus fixed monthly fee? That
Yes.
is what you're going to see the majority of the time.
What is it?
And I would say you're going to move from, I've seen firms at time and material sell for zero point 0.5 revenue valuation, half of revenue valuation, and then jump up to 1.25 or 1.5 in revenue
Wow.
valuation. So it's
So,
going to be it's a massive swing. But imagine even firms doing zero point 0.8. I've bought firms at 0.8 to 1 times.
yeah.
And I will tell you, at fixed monthly fee, I'm willing to pay 1.25 to 1.5 times revenue because they've already done that work, right?
Okay.
So
I,
it's a big
that's a
jump.
lot.
Yeah,
That is the financial reason to make this change is
yeah,
you could get 80 cents on the dollar for your firm, or you could get a buck 25 to a buck
yeah.
50 on the dollar for your firm. And we're talking top line revenue there. And
Correct,
all
correct.
you have to do is change to a recurring revenue model.
Yeah. Well, we say that it sounds easy, except
Right.
for firm owners, it's a very difficult transition for most firm owners because they never thought that way. They haven't had the education around it.
Yep.
And all of their systems is built around tracking time and expenses
And
and then
billing for the
billing it
time. Yeah.
after the fact, right?
Yeah.
And then hoping that the customer pays and hoping that the customer doesn't have any disagreements with that time and material billing. So all the systems are built around that. Even the tools that they're paying subscription. It's funny, the tools they're paying subscriptions for the systems to track time is on a subscription basis, and yet it hasn't clicked for them that
Yeah.
they could go out and do subscription
Yeah. Yeah.
basis
You're
billing
you're you're
themselves. Yeah,
not paying for the software based on the number of hours that you bill to clients.
right,
That'd be an interesting strategy.
right.
Any other surprising insights? Anything else you've learned from buying, selling, that about valuation with firms?
So there's two things. One is most firm owners have a misunderstanding of what their firm is actually valued at today in the market. What is the market willing to buy them? So that's why talking to a broker, talking to other people who have sold and have talked to buyers and have sold their firm, it's going to help you level set what is your firm actually valued at. And secondly, and surprisingly,